Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Out and about today on the mighty Moto Guzzi V85TT Terreno, or V85TT to you and me. And I'm feeling hungry, so that can only mean one thing. It's time for another biker scran with Geoff and Dan. So if you're interested either in the big Moto Guzzi or you like food, stick around and stay tuned. Okay, so time for another biker scran with Geoff and Dan, the segment on the show where we try one of Britain's biker cafes and give it a mark and our verdicts as to how it's done. Now, a bit of a general chinwag about motorcycles, and always do that with my friends Geoff and Dan, and we haven't done it for ages. It's a beautiful day today to ride on a bike, which is just as well because I'm heading out towards Wiltshire, which is quite away from Buckinghamshire, so I thought it'd be a great test actually of using the Moto Guzzi on a longer ride, and also, of course, looking forward to eating, because I'm still on my healthy eating thing and I'm basically hungry all the time. Anyway, first things first, I'm going to meet up with Geoff up at the airfield at White Waltham, which is near Maidenhead, which is sort of en route if you go in the back roads. Where we're going today is a place called Choppers, and it's in a town called Burbage, which I think is over near Swindon way. Now, I don't know that part of the country very well at all, but Dan and Geoff do, so I'm going to follow Geoff up there, because he's got a route via the back roads, which is a bit more interesting than just blatting down the M4. Just in case I get lost, I've fitted my iPhone onto the Moto Guzzi, and I've got my TomTom sat-nav going, so I've got a bit of an idea as to where we're going. It says it takes an hour and 18 to get there, but we're going to be going the back road, so I'm imagining it's going to be quite a bit longer than that. Anyway, stick around and stay tuned. We'll do a bit of the ride up there if there's anything worth seeing, and then we'll meet up with Geoff and Dan. Alright, just coming into Maidenhead now, which is where the airfield that I'm meeting Geoff's at. Geoff's a bit old school, I imagine. Well, I know he is, just look at him. So I imagine he'll probably be there already. It's, what have I got, what's the time? 42, I was going to meet him at 1:45, so 3 minutes to go, so I should be exactly on time. And I'll be surprised if Geoff's not already there, because I'm sure he's a sort of chap that likes to get places early. Good man. I am too normally, but I had a bit of a rush getting out of the house this morning. But at least I'm not going to be late. What a corking day! Alrighty, here we are. One of my favourite places on the planet. Let's see if I'm right. There he is, look, Jeffrey's here. Good man. Good day, sir.
Good morning.
What a cracker.
I know, it's cracking the flags, isn't it?
Good to see you. So what do you think? Looks like an egg, did you say?
Yeah, fried egg.
I'm thinking more Keith Harris's Orville. Does it remind you of that at all?
I wish I could fly.
Oh yeah, I ate that duck.
Oh, it's a grizzly.
But it is nicely made, isn't it? Do you think? It looks good, don't think? I mean, the looks are a bit weird.
No.
But it's
the colour scheme.
Yeah, I think.
The accents are good. I think it'd be just forget the yellow bit.
Yeah.
Or forget the white bit, but not the...
I'm getting you not. It's not doing it for you, is it, Jeffrey?
colour scheme's not perfect, but...
Excellent. Anyway, we'll have a chat more about that when we see Dan. So you've got a bit of a back route for us, haven't you?
I have. There's two choices.
Right.
The back route, to avoid going through the centre of Reading,
yep,
we've got to do a little bit on the motorway.
All right, no worries.
I'll go down this way, all the way through to Woodley.
Okay.
And then get on halfway down the link road, and then it's up to junction 12, and then straight down Hungerford, and then turn left into Hungerford.
All right, sounds good to me. I don't know the area at all, so don't go too fast, because it's not a quick bike.
Don't worry. No.
Right, we're off. So we're getting the distinct impression that Geoff's not a big fan of the Moto Guzzi. Oh well, I don't know if you can see that. It's a formation of nanchangs above me, two nanchangs. They're a Chinese version, if you like. They're a bit like the yak. Good to see them up. It's a beautiful day for not only motorcycling, but flying as well. But be absolutely corking. If anything, it's a little bit too warm. When you're flying, because of the way that heat affects pressure and therefore the mixture in a normal carbureted engine, which most aeroplanes have, or light aircraft, you do get a bit of a lack of power as the temperature rises. So you have to be a bit mindful. High temperatures means low power. Not so much an issue on motorbikes these days, of course, because they tend to be fuel injected, so it gets around that. And it means your stoichiometric mix, oh, I'm using all the words today, remains constant regardless of temperatures and pressures. Anyway, gosh, that will maybe sound a bit clever, didn't it? I'm probably talking rubbish there, but just thought I'd throw that in, as I'm sure there's something like that going on. Right, happy to be following Geoff. Geoff is an excellent rider. He's been riding longer than I've been born. Always steady, and I've said it before, I always judge how good a rider is by how often they use their brakes. I mean, I'm using my brake now, but Geoff's brake light goes on very, very rarely. So I'm just going to settle in and enjoy this ride. It's about an hour and a half up to Burbage. And let's hope Dan's not late, because he'll be wanting his chip mounting, I'm sure. So I don't know this part of the world very well at all by road. I fly over it a lot, obviously, in the aeroplane, but it looks completely different from the air. I really must explore it more. I always say this, whenever I come south of the M4 or M40, it's why don't I come here more often, because this road already is an absolute cracker. Not sure which one it is, he says, looking at his sat-nav. B3024 is that? Mind you, on a day like this, any road's good, isn't it? Actually a cracking bike for this sort of riding. It's I've decided over the last few days riding this Moto Guzzi that it's lovely on these back roads, on the B roads, but once you get on motorways, that's where it does struggle a little bit. At higher speeds, I don't want to call it gutless, but compared to other bikes that I ride regularly, it does lack a bit of top end. But that's only when you're doing illegal speeds, to be honest, so that shouldn't really be a factor, should it? But built for these sort of roads if you're going to go touring. So we're just coming through the town of Woodley now. Doesn't look much here, but I only turned the camera on and mentioned it because I've never been here before on the road, but there is very much an aviation link here, in that there used to be an airfield here in the war. It's no longer there now, it's closed, but there is still an aviation link in that there's a beacon where the airfield used to be, which is appropriately known as Woodley, or WOD if you're looking at aviation maps. So it still has an aviation function, but in the war it was the base for the Handley Page company. I believe it was Handley Page. So things like the Handley Page, speed camera, thank you Jeffrey, things like the Handley Page Halifax and so on will have been manufactured and flown out of the airfield here in the war. If it wasn't Handley Page, we'll just go by memory, then that little fact was a bit rubbish as well. In fact, just looking up here, there's one of those brown signs here, look, on the left, that's got a propeller on it and a ski slope, oddly. I think there's an aviation museum there. One day I'll ride out here just to go to that aviation museum and see, get the facts on what Woodley was about. In fact, we're still in Woodley. Just on my right is an industrial estate and what looks like some ex-hangars, RAF type buildings, or this looks like what was a factory, and it looks very sort of wartime-ish, to be honest. So it wouldn't surprise me if this is the site of the old airfield. Right, back to the riding. So a quick update on the journey for you. This is the town of Thatcham, I believe. I'm about halfway. I've been on the bike now for about an hour and a quarter in my case. We've got about an hour to go. Thatcham, of course, famous for its car alarms. Oh, don't do lots of filtering, Geoff. I've got really wide panniers. I won't get away with that bit. Ah, lights. I always wonder about these. Does that look like a motorcycle to you or not?
It's the microboy.
Well, this is all very lovely. This is the town of Hungerford we're in now. And Hungerford, of course, is infamous in the UK, sadly, because it looks to be a lovely little place. But it's infamous because this was the site of a mass shooting about, I don't know, might be 20 odd years ago now. And I think I'm right in saying we hadn't really had one of those in the UK before, because of course it's hard to get hold of guns in this country. So it was a real shocker when somebody went a bit nuts. I think it was in a school and shot and killed a load of people, and that's what put Hungerford on the map, unfortunately. It's known for all the wrong reasons, because, you know, what a beautiful little place. Lots of tea shops and things down there. Really, really nice. I have to say, it's been a Beautiful ride through. I've been recording it all, of course, because the main element of this video is the Scran bit with Geoff and Dan, but it's been a really nice ride out. But on a ride, you know, on a day like today, on a bike like this, you can't help but enjoy yourself, can you? And some absolutely cracking roads around here as well. Very popular with other bikers, and sadly white vans. Oh, this is what riding's all about, isn't it? Absolutely cracking through here. It's such a treat actually to be in England on some nice roads. I'm always moaning about living in the southeast. Well, we're still in the south, of course, but we're now heading very much towards the southwest, and the roads here are altogether nicer for riding in. And I've noticed now on the road signs that Burbage is starting to be shown, so you can't have too much further to go now. Okay, so we're in Burbage now, so it can't be far to Choppers. According to my sat nav, it's just up here somewhere. I don't know if Geoff knows exactly where it is. I don't think he's been here before. But I know Dan has done a little recce for us. I wonder if he'll be here. We're slightly early, in fact about 20 minutes early, so it'll be entirely acceptable if he's not there. Ah, this looks like the place. Splendid. There is a motorcycle here, but it ain't Dan's. Right, let's park up and wait for him. Right, well, we're just waiting for Dan to turn up, and so I didn't catch your name.
Rob.
Hi, Rob. Nice to meet you.
Nice
Turns
to meet
out
you.
Rob is a subscriber and has been doing a bit of a recce on Choppers. So do you come here often then, Rob?
Quite a lot, because there's some lovely roads around here.
Oh, we had a great ride in.
Oh, good.
And what's your favourite dish here? What should we be trying?
Oh, well, I usually just have a bacon roll, because I've got to watch the cholesterol.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about it.
But they do, all their food is lovely. The breakfast is brilliant.
Anything healthy? Because I'm watching our weight.
Okay, don't have anything.
Ah, it's one of those sort of places, is it? Okay, fair enough.
No, just have something light then. I mean, that's
Show us your bike. So what have you come on? So a big Beamer?
S1R.
Yeah, nice.
Sport. I did originally buy a Tiger Sport.
Right,
Because
I used to have one of them.
I know, I watched all your stuff.
Oh wow, yep.
Oh, well, I won't bore you. You can edit a load of stuff, because I can give you a bit of history.
Yep.
I had a heart attack. I lost my licence for 7.5 months because I've got an ICD. Right, so I didn't know if I was going to get it back or not.
Yeah.
And so the outcome was, right, I'm going to do what I would need to do now and go and buy a new bike.
Right.
So all through that period of time I was watching you and all the other vloggers.
Excellent.
And saw your Tiger Sport one, and I thought, yeah, I really like that, being a long leggy person.
Yeah.
And I went and fitted it, and you said, yeah, get that rather than the Versys.
Right.
So I bought the Tiger Sport, had it a year.
Yep.
Until June this year, went up for its 6,000 mile service at a local Kawasaki dealer in Newbury.
Right. And they have one of these in.
And they had this in second hand.
Yeah.
And I said, that's really nice. I said, yeah, take it for a test ride if you like. What's your bike being?
Completely different to the Tiger, isn't it?
Oh, totally.
I mean, lighter,
came back,
swift.
lighter, swifter.
Yeah.
And that was it for me. What I didn't like about the Tiger Sport was the wind noise.
Yep.
Because I tried 3 different screens.
Yeah. Did you try the MRA Vario screen?
No, I had a Puig.
Right, okay.
And I just got so buffeted because the side bits the wind came around and hit my shoulders.
So you don't get that on this.
Oh, no. This is brilliant. I mean, I had a Harley at the time.
Right.
Harley Iron.
This is slightly different, isn't it?
It's
Let's
slightly
have a quick look
different.
at it, yeah.
And
So how old is this then?
well, it's a 68. It's not. It's about 9 months old. I bought it at 8 months old.
Right.
With 2,000 miles
Oh,
on.
so you got a good deal then.
So I got
Somebody
a
else took
deal.
a spanking.
Yeah, they did, and I took a spanking on the Tiger Sport.
Fair enough.
But I got this in return, and so it worked out sort of roughly the same as what I'd have paid for this new, I think.
Yeah, fine. That's good.
And
then.
it's
Great.
a beautiful,
Well, be
bike.
careful because they're beasts, aren't they? These things.
Oh, it's
Don't give
absolute-
yourself another heart attack.
No, if I do, well, I got the defibrillator to restart me.
Fair enough.
The only
Fabulous.
thing is keeping it a bit steady.
That's the problem I find with these sort of bikes.
Oh.
They just egg you on to go fast
Yeah.
all the time, don't they?
Well, what I did with the money, I sold the Harley.
Yeah.
thanks to you again, I bought a CRF 250.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, fantastic.
Right, and
I wish I was on commission with Honda.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, you should be. Round here, there's so many green lanes.
Oh, fabulous.
I was out on Sunday
Yep.
with a mate, and we went all along Wayfarers Walk from Newbury right the way across the other side of Coombe Gibbet into Wiltshire, coming this way.
It sounds, I've no idea what you're talking about. Coombe
Okay.
Gibbet, it sounds like something out of a chicken. But,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it was fun.
Giblets.
One of those.
Right, Dan's here. There he is. Looking resplendent as ever. Oh, nicely done. Oh, bravo. Well done, sir. Well done.
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
What? Why are you disappointing us?
You're a minute early,
Oh.
not fashionably late.
Right, are you ready for some Scran?
I am. Absolutely.
Let's check it out.
Where the superfood is.
Oh, there's bound to be some superfoods.
I've checked it already.
Marvellous. Whoa, it's warm in here. Afternoon.
Oh, right, here we are.
Chop, chop. Right. Let's have a look around. Oh, there's an outdoors at the back.
No superfood.
There must be if Dan's been here before and come again.
Well, no, I was very careful. I was very careful not to have my special.
Right,
Because
you were saving it for this?
Yeah.
Right, oh well, there we go. That's a bit of a choke. Oh no, there you are, black pudding, look, it's there. It's there, you're good.
Oh, yeah.
You can add it as an extra, well
Yeah,
done.
cool.
Of course, of course.
Small breakfast with black pudding then.
They do sandwiches, look, I think I might have to go a bit healthy then.
What?
You don't just keep looking like this by eating black pudding and stuff, I tell you. Do you want one of these 7-Ups, Jeff? Do you want one of these 7-Ups?
Yeah, no, so I've got.
Oh, you've gone for something fancy. Ooh, I'll go for one. Cheers, Dan. Thank you very much, sir. Excellent. You're all jacketed up still. You must be absolutely cooking.
I'm, you know, naturally cool, dear boy. Naturally cool.
Oh, yes. Oh, blimey.
I don't like them that much.
Oh, you've gone for a bit of superfood too, have you?
Yeah, I thought I would. I'll go for superfood.
Could I have, please? Yeah. Egg and chips with black pudding.
2 eggs.
Yes, please. Yeah. Got to keep the strength up.
And I'm on a bit of a health thing.
Yep.
So I'm working on the basis that the cheese, ham and tomato and lettuce is the healthiest thing on there. You reckon?
Yeah.
Can I go for one then, please? And that can as well.
Lovely. Cheese, ham, lettuce and tomato. Would you like it in a sandwich or roll?
Or sandwich, I think. You've got brown.
Bread.
Yeah, perfect.
Lovely. That's great.
Now I'm interested with the pricing, because the ham or the cheese are the same price as the cheese, ham, tomato and lettuce.
It would be, yeah.
Oh, so it's like the...
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
like the tomato and lettuce is free.
Pretty much.
Good.
It's not huge prices. I mean, all the drinks are only £1, so
Winner.
we got millions of people free. There's no point in
Thank you very much. Well,
You're
yeah.
welcome. £4.
Splendid. Thank you very much. Right, we're just outside the sunshine.
Blimey, look at that.
How much for you?
That's good. That looks healthy. Sorry, coming through.
Bread.
Healthy sandwich.
Any condiments or anything?
I think we've got what we need actually, thanks.
So that's the no bread healthy option.
Yes, no
You
bread
are
healthy
learning
option.
very well
I know.
indeed.
I'm following.
I've
you.
gone with bread though. Look at that, 2 bits of black pudding. What's these little bits on it? What's that about? Let's get a close up. What do we think? What do we think of the presentation then at Shoppers?
Well, it's very nice. Look, you see, I mean,
Yeah.
normally the tomatoes and the beans might be a bit of a mixture.
Yep. They've separated that. Use the
They've
sausage
been strategically placed to keep them apart.
as a border, a culinary border.
If I was to be hypercritical,
Yep.
I'd have swapped the bacon with the egg and put the egg there.
For what reason?
Well,
What
the
logic is that?
to turn the mother-in-law's stomach to see a fried egg with. So it's just a tip in my hat to her, really.
Very good, very good.
But apart from that,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's looking good. Well, we'll
10
do the
out of
taste
6.
test next, and we'll see what
10 out of
Dan's.
6,
Jeff makes a good point because bean juice contamination is a constant.
It's a big
hazard.
problem, isn't it?
It's an underrated hazard.
It is, particularly if you have chips, I find, because it makes your chips go soggy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't want a beanie chip. Anyway,
Yeah.
of course, that's the old me. I wouldn't know what that's like.
Gravy and curry sauce and all that.
Well, that's a different game.
Cheesy chips.
That's an up
What's
north
that
thing.
about?
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Everything all right for you?
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Unless
Yes,
you've
very
got a
good.
Popgun but a wasps.
So, Dan, what are we thinking on presentation value?
I'm loving it. It's all very neatly laid out.
Yep, yep.
Eggs. It's just. We'll have to check. Do Jeff's yolk test.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Give it a prod. Sorry, I'm fighting wasps.
Stick a chip in. Oh, look at that.
That is about perfect. And let's get a close up of that. It's just burst the yolk
And
perfectly.
because they're skinny chips, they're low calorie. I'm not sure that logic works, but you go with it.
Well, McDonald's say it does.
Right, we're going to get on with the scranning. We'll come back later with our final review. Well, I have to say, this sarnie is really tasty. I know that's a ridiculous thing to say, how tasty can the sarnie be, but this ham is excellent. I'm a bit shocked, Dan, you've left some chips.
Yeah, I'm noticing.
What's going on here?
Well, I've left chips, you've left cheese.
Well, I've only,
Cheese
well,
and
it fell out. Yeah.
You fat shamed
Northern's
me.
delight.
I've been fat shamed.
That's very in now, isn't it?
It's very in.
It's very much the in thing being fat shamed. Have you been fat shamed, Geoff?
No.
You fat git. There you go. You're in now, you're trending now.
Thank you very much,
You're
Bobby.
welcome, you're welcome. Touche. Fair enough. Why is fat shaming an in thing now?
What is it?
Well, it's when people call you a fat git when you're not.
Oh, right. Oh,
So when
okay.
you're not, that's the key bit, you see. I've just
Oh, yeah, well, in that case, then, I'm guilty as charged.
Right, well, I'm going to finish this and then I think we should do our little sum up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, why don't we do
the
that?
quality of the food. Right, chaps, we've is that rolling? Yes, it is. We've finished our meals. Let's wander over here and have a little chat about how we rate choppers, then, shall we? We appear to be the last punters here now. We've lingered on a bit, haven't we?
I think it's one of these places that opens at 6 in the morning and closes at 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, you could be right. You could be right. So, the food, we've already done the presentation. That was all fine. It worked out. What's your score on the door for this one? We were doing it out of 10 or out of 5? 10? I thought it was 8. Let's do it out of 10. It gives us more latitude.
No, because
Yeah,
when we went, Ian did 7.5.
Oh, that's right.
Which is why he's not with us
Ruined it.
anymore.
Yeah. He's been ditched. Right. So, Dan, out of 10 then. What do you think?
So, what I particularly liked about the food, so it was all the chips were nice and crispy.
Yep.
The black pudding was nice.
They didn't look crispy. Actually.
Yes,
the chips
it
didn't
was.
look crispy.
Yeah.
They were crispy. Were they?
They were crispy enough.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's all very basic food, but it's a no frills
Classic.
place. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it's all
yeah,
about.
yeah.
And I think £3.50 for double-legged chips with black pudding and a tin of pop.
And a 4-star hygiene rating. We just add that as well.
Yeah.
So it's not like
They
they're
claim
skimping.
5, but only 4 on the
Yeah, indeed.
I think you if you're looking for a fine dining experience,
It ain't good,
isn't it?
yeah.
But if you're looking for great value,
And
good
you're out for a
quality
ride
food, you're out for a ride out, lovely people, friendly welcome. I'm a bit of an 8 out of 10 merchant, but it's got to be 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Oh,
Yeah,
excellent.
nice. Yeah. What do you think, Geoff? Where are you going?
Well, given the scores we've given on some of the others,
Yeah.
and bearing in mind the location on this great bit of road, as you've got all the way around here, the road down to Thruster,
Yeah.
back in towards Hungerford, the positioning, outside tables, and the food quality was poor.
Yeah.
I have to say, okay, it's a sausage more of bread than meat, but
Yep.
then that's not.
Yep.
So I'm going to go 9.
Oh, that's
Even
the
go
first
9.
9. That's the first 9
Yeah.
you've given, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. And I have to say, for me, I'm completely in agreement. I mean, the pricing was amazing, and the quality. I know I only had a sandwich, but I mentioned to you off camera, the ham was really tasty. One of the best ham sandwiches I've had, with cheese and 3 lettuce and stuff. And again, less than a £5 including the drink. I'm definitely giving this a 9. I think it's a huge thumbs up, both for location, food, and pricing.
Yeah.
So recommended to the house.
Yes.
So there we go. So that's choppers. Where are we going to do next?
We're going to do the flag and whistle, weren't we?
The flag and whistle.
We keep mentioning that, so maybe the flag and whistle next time.
That's the one.
Maybe a visit to a sidecar factory afterwards if we're
could
feeling
be.
frisky.
Oh, now that would
there's
be.
a
Now
thing.
that would be
Yes.
good, wouldn't it?
Because you've never had a bit on the side.
I would love a bit on the side.
Yes,
Excellent.
Mr. Watson's bit on the side.
So Dan, you want to see me bike, didn't you?
I did want to
The
see
Moto
Thank you for
Guzzi. Here we
reminding
go.
me.
Let's come this way. Right, here we go then. So I want to know what your opinion is of the looks of the bike, because this one very much splits opinion. What do you think?
So I like the retro styling.
Yep.
I love the colour scheme on this bike. I like the red frame. A Moto Guzzi transverse V-twin, sensational. So all of that I like.
Yep. I sense a butt coming.
The only thing I'm not sure about with the bike is actually, and I think what they've done is quite clever in trying to make a sort of retro adventure sport bike.
Yep.
Because actually there's lots of people who just like the riding position of an adventure sport bike. They're a little bit like Chelsea tractors, aren't they?
Yep.
That actually for a lot of people they're not going to ride them off road. They're not going to pretend they're going to ride them off road. They just like the riding position and the style. So that's all fine. The only question I suppose I've got about it is it does look pretty hefty, and I wonder whether that lazy transverse V-twin engines quite got the
Yeah,
to
it's interesting because you say it looks hefty, and it does, but actually if you're moving it around, I find it much lighter than my GS actually, and it is lighter by some margin. It's about 20 kilograms lighter, even though it looks a heavy bike.
As hefty as the first.
But you're right on the power thing. I mean, it's great when you're on lanes going sort of between 20 and 60. But I noticed this following Geoff just now. As soon as you want to overtake and you wind it on and you suddenly want to burst of power, that's where I missed it, and I found I was kind of gasping a bit. So yeah, you're right. It is a little bit lacking in power. But what do you think about the overall looks from the front? Because I've got a thing about it looking a bit like Orville from Keith Harris. Or indeed,
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
well, it could be whatever you like. Or for our American viewers, Big Bird from Sesame Street. Was the other one.
Yes, somebody mentioned that.
Yeah, and the yellow kind of adds to that.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
I get where you're coming from actually. It's a sort of 3/4 looking on, it's okay.
Yep.
I see what they've tried to do with the headlights. They've tried to go for the sort of old-fashioned sort of 70s, 80s CB headlights.
Yep.
CBA headlights.
Yep.
And they've got the little gutsy sort of wing in the middle.
That's the running light. It's cool, isn't it? Yeah, it's
some
cool.
designers got a bit of a stiffy doing that. But
Yeah.
it's maybe that doesn't work quite as well as you'd.
I quite like that. I think that looks good actually. When it's on, it's actually
It's lovely because she's got spectrum.
street triple actually is. Get the right. Anyway,
sorry.
so there we go. So it's a bit of a. It sounds like, is it a thumbs up or thumbs down?
I think appearance-wise it looks great. Overall, appearance-wise, it does it for me.
Okay, okay. So
I'd have to reserve judgment till
of course,
I've ridden it.
Fixes and fittings are actually very good.
Yeah, it's well made
Finish-
machine from what I can see.
finish is good.
Yeah, excellent.
Components are good.
Actually, I must just look at your cockpit before I give a final judgment.
Please do, yes. For me, where they've gone, because it is a sort of a retro bike, I don't like the fact it's got a TFT.
Yeah.
I think if it had two dials,
Yeah.
that would be better.
Lovely bars though.
Yeah, it's got nice finishing on it. It's got a USB port, which is really handy for your phone. I love what I've done with the seat.
Yeah.
It's good.
You need this USB port for the phone so that you can call the RAC when it works.
Don't listen to Geoff. He's not a Moto Guzzi man.
It's a joke.
Actually, feeling the heat on that top box, that would make a nice pizza on.
You could. It is a hot day. No, let's not do that. I think I signed a bit of paper about not frying eggs on it. Anyway, brilliant. Well, nice to see you chaps again. I've got a scoot, unfortunately. Not a scoot. Moto Guzzi back. And so next time, where were we saying? The trade place?
Flag and whistle.
Flag and whistle. Whereabouts is that?
Spoiler alert.
Where is the flag and whistle?
Flag and whistle. It's Cotswolds, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
North
whereabouts-
Cotswolds.
No,
Right.
Toddington. Toddington.
We'll find it. We'll find it.
Not the Toddington on the M1, the Toddington in the Cotswolds.
All right. That's it for now then. Until the next, what we call it, biker scram with Geoff and Dan. That's the one.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Clues in the-
yeah.
clues
Yeah,
in the
exactly,
front
exactly. I
there.
should remember that. And so I'll say cheerio and all that stuff.
What's your tagline again?
So there we go, another biker scran with Geoff and Dan in the can. I've got a habit of forgetting my little catchphrase at the end of videos of late, so I thought I'd just do this little add-on bit again so I get it right. But what a cracking little place Choppers is. If you're in the area, as we said, I hope the sound came out all right. There was quite a bit of other noises going on, but in case you didn't get it, great little place there. Food's good, price is amazing, and some really lovely rides around here. There goes Dan. So if you're in the area, definitely check them out. Just an ideal biker stop, and with a good food hygiene rating, which these days I think I should check before we go on these things. Alright, that's it for this time. Hope there's been of some interest. Look forward to speaking to you again. Until then, this has been the Missenden Fly. Cheerio.